So welcome. Good morning. I wish you pleasant wisdom. Today we are going to do revision work of the course. First of all, I would like to explain the purpose of the course and to have the right attitude. The examination is drawing near on coming June 28. So some of you may be excited and nervous. We don't need to be excited or nervous about that. The main purpose of the discourse is to enrich knowledge, to broaden view, to deepen wisdom, so that your knowledge and your view and your wisdoms are more firmly grounded in matters of the truth and matters that will benefit in this very life. So the purpose of the course is to enrich, to broaden, to deepen your wisdom and knowledge. And having a diploma certificate is a secondary thing. The most important thing is to enrich your knowledge, to deepen your wisdom. Once you understand this, you will have the right attitude in your study in a very relaxed and very peaceful and analytical study of the course. This way it will benefit more. It will make your study more easy and more relaxed, and you can remember more. If we're trying to have some sort of the excitement and unnecessary nervousness toward what we are doing, and our minds become more agitated, and as a result, we cannot grasp what we should have learned out of the coursework. Today we are going to do reviewing, as I said earlier. So let's turn to the first chapter. First chapter, ethic and its definition. Page number 3, ethics and its definition. You just only make a very short note so that all the explanations and everything written on each page will become more shorter and more simpler. So now let me start ethic and its definition, chapter 1. Definition of ethic from the religious perspective. This is the heading. And the short note you have to keep in mind is that ethic from religious perspective is to be in conformity with the main body of moral principle and moral values as recommended by one's religion. That's it. So ethic from religious perspective is to be conformed with the main body of the moral principle and moral values as described in the religious text. Some of these moral values and moral principles from a religious perspective may go against with actual nature of the compassion and goodwill. You can see it in today's news when some people commit violence in the name of religion, in the name of their God. You see there are a lot of attack, suicide attack, and a lot of violence committed to other people who are not belonging to their religion. So I want to recap. Definition of from the religious perspective is just being in conformity with the main body of moral values and moral principle recommended by religious texts, one's religion. So this is a brief, but they may be against actual compassion and goodwill. Now let's proceed to another uh, definition. Definition of ethic from the philosophical perspective. First, you have to understand what philosophy is. There are a lot of philosophies in the world, a lot of philosophers. Those philosophers, they expound their views depending on their preconceived thinkings and framework. Basically, true moral values and true moral truths are not based on narrow thinkings, selfish thinking. They are actually based on mutual benefit and mutual positive impact. Now let's study what is ethic definition of the from philosophical perspective. From philosophical perspective, ethic is defined as a set of core principles and a way of intellectual thinking, which determine right and wrong, good and bad, guiding decisions, choice, and action. So every action, every conduct performed in daily life has to have moral principle and morality. Usually this is based on intellectual thinking and the ability to distinguish between right and wrong, good and bad. This ability of analytical wisdom and thinking ahead of time before a person commit. This is basic definition from the philosophical perspective. That's why it's written in the paper. For ethics in this context, intellectual capacity and the ability to discern right and wrong, good and bad, play the central role. So to summarize, ethic definition of the from philosophical perspective is the set of core moral principles which are based on analytical thinking regarding the impact of one's action. Analytical wisdom is the ability to distinguish between good and bad, right and wrong, beneficial and not beneficial. So I think the definition of ethics from philosophical perspective is core moral principle based on good and bad, right and wrong, and beneficial and non-beneficial, which comes out of the intellectual thinking and analytical wisdom. Now let's proceed. The source of the ethic, religious ethic and philosophical ethic. Religious ethic is sourced from faith and devotion. Philosophical ethic or secular ethic is derived from wisdom, knowledge, and moral vision and goodwill. So we have to understand ethic from different philosophical perspective is more secular. It's because it's not based on faith. Blind, it's not based on religious faith or blind faith. It's based on wisdom. Now let's go ahead to the Buddhist ethic. Buddhist ethic is very much similar to secular ethic because it is based on practical wisdom and profound intellectual thinking for the common good of human being as well as for everyone in the real life, without regard for religion, race, or social status, or any dogmatic idea. In this case, we have to understand Buddha is not an intentional philosopher. Buddha is not an intentional philosopher. He never expounded any philosophy based on his intellectual speculation. His teachings are based on practical truth, practicality, which exists in the world, regardless of time, regardless of people. In this case, there is a very wonderful and very lovely word said by the Buddha. Let me quote. Regardless of whether there are the Buddha emerging in the world or not, the true nature of life, true nature of the world always exists. So this is very simple and to the point. What Buddha says is that even when Buddha appear or even when there's no Buddhas in the world appear, the truth is the truth. It will always remain in the world with its inherent power, with its inherent characteristic. Buddha only discovered that truth, that phenomena. So Buddha in this case is a discoverer, not an intentional philosopher who just expounding, stipulating this such and such kind of philosophy and theory, etc. Buddha discover only. Once you understand these words of the Buddha, in light of what Buddha has said, moral goal and moral principle, actual moral goal and moral principles are not based on faith. They are based on practical aspect. But in today's time, except for the intellectual people, the religion is like a club, a membership club. Once you are in, you cannot get out. If you're trying to get out, you will be punished because there's a threat, intimidation, with the possibility of hell, eternal gas. In Buddhism, there's no such thing. Once you understand this, the truth in itself is not discriminatory. It takes its own course, regardless of who you are and what you are. If you take the moral course, the moral benefits and positive results will come up. If we take immoral path, even though we may be a billionaire or the president or prime minister or a general, the immoral path, immoral action we take will come back in the form of negative consequence, regardless of either you are a devout Buddhist or a devout Christian or a devout Muslim. This is what Buddha want to say. The truth is the truth. It will never discriminate. It will take its own course, like the projectile that comes out of the bottom of a gun. That projectile and let's say the bullet will take its own course because it's the law of motion. According to the law of motion, using the pressure and pushing force of the explosion, the bullets just come out of the barrel of the gun. It takes its own straight course. Whether it's a motion force are directed. Anything on the part of that projectile will be hit. Bullets are not to blame. Guns are not to blame, except the shooter. The shooter with good intention or bad intention. So this example, this metaphor is very simple. We are like the gun owners. We can shoot our gun depending on our will, our intention. If our intention is to save someone from harm, we can shoot. If our intention is to harm someone for no reason, and then it is up to us. That here is the moral issue and immoral issue come up. Intention is more important. So I want to explain it later on. So Buddhist ethic is very much like secular ethic. That's what we have to keep in mind. Buddhist ethic is based on wisdom, practical wisdom, and profound intellectual thinking for the common good of all beings. Now I will repeat. Buddhist ethic is based on practical wisdom. Based on practical wisdom for thinking about possible consequence of the good for human beings, for all living beings. So it's based on wisdom and positive impacts of the people. Okay, now let's turn to the next page so that we can go ahead a little bit faster. Now on page number 4, here we have to understand the purpose of the ethic. The purpose of ethic basically is to improve the characteristic virtue of ordinary human being individual so that he can live life in peace and progress, being free from any guilt associated with the wrong choice and deeds. This is the primary purpose. And the second purpose is to elevate an individual human being to the level of beauty of conduct and thereby leading all the way to attain beauty of the mind at the highest level. Okay, these are two purposes of the ethic. Now, foundation of ethic. Foundation of ethic. Foundation of ethic, religious belief, moral conscience, intellectual capacity to reason and logically think both the good and bad result of one's action. A desire to live life in happiness and as a good, responsible person without feeling any sort of guilt relating to one's action are some of the basic foundation. Okay, now let's go ahead to universal golden standard of ethic. Universal golden standard of ethic are compassion, goodwill, considerate respect for well-being of others, human progress and common good through wholesome and moral part of making the right choice. Now, turn next page, the role of ethic. The role of ethic is very simple and very clear to make better person and better society. This is fast. And second one is more accountable for one's action. And 3, be responsible persons capable of making appropriate choice and decision. And 4D, develop consideration toward well-being of others. E, to develop positive qualities such as basic goodwill, compassion, and non-selfishness. Actually, these are just explanation. All these can be grouped into one. The role of ethic is to promote well-being and to make a better person, a better society. And that's it, very brief one. Now, why the ethic and ethical principles are necessary? To make everyone happy, to make everyone peaceful. Even though the explanation is a big, wide explanation, which takes a half the page, we can just summarize. Ethic and ethical principles are necessary to make everyone involved, to make the whole society as a whole happy and peaceful and productive and progressive. That's it. Like the fire. In this case, I point out the fire. Everybody use the fire in a house. In every household, we have the fire, electricity. We have the gas oven, electric oven. If someone handle the ovens or microwave or electricity in a very irresponsible way, his house will be burned down. And if there is no fire extinguisher, fire crew, and the whole quarter will be burned by the fire. So it can affect everyone. So we have to have our own moral codes and moral principle, ethical code and ethical principle. This is very simple. Okay, now let's turn to next chapter. Let's turn to next chapter. Buddhist discourse leading to ethic. In this chapter 2, I have selected all the discourse which contain the moral teachings, improvement of morality, and moral teachings that lead to well-being of the society. So this collection of discourse are not only based on moral codes and moral value, it's also for promoting social well-being and general happiness, general well-being of the people in the society. They can be viewed as a social teaching, but they can also explain basic concepts of the hell and heaven in the Buddha's teaching. We are very fortunate to have this a good chance to learn all these discourse. But you don't need to remember. You don't need to try hard to remember all these discourse. Just run through these discourse and familiarize yourself with the important teachings and Buddha's morality and moral life and social welfare. Now, let's explain two important moral rules. The first ones are called the compulsory moral codes. Compulsory moral codes both for both laymen and for monastic. These compulsory moral code for the monks are recorded in Vinaya Pitaka text. General moral codes, ethical conduct for the lay people are taught in different parts of the Buddhist teaching and the Buddhist text. Let's run through a few of them, a few important things, so that you can get familiarized with some important things. Now let's study 31 syllabic suttas. 31 syllabic suttas. Okay, the first one, the book of two, Vajra Sutta, the consequence in this very life, and the consequence in afterlife. There are two kinds of the consequence in Buddha's teaching. Every action we do has these two consequences. One is to experience in this very life. The other is to experience in next rewards. That's it. You don't need to memorize. Just only familiarize it. Two consequences of every moral or immoral action. One is to experience in this very life. The other is to experience in the next phase of rebirth. Okay, now, item number 2, Tapaniya Sutta, actions causing torment. This is also very simple. You are already familiar. 1, 3 bodily misconduct. 2, 4 verbal misconduct. 3, 3 bad mental state. These are the actions that cause suffering. Now, 3, Atapaniya Sutta, deeds not causing torment. You can reversely understand this. The first and 1, 3, 3 wholesome bodily contacts. 2, 4 wholesome verbal contacts. 3, 3 wholesome mental state. Altogether, these are called the 10 good contacts. It's very simple. Okay, now let's go ahead to the 4, I think 4, Kanna, 7, dark, page number 143. Next page. Kanna, the dark one. What are the dark one? Moral shamelessness. This is the past one. Dark force. 2, fearlessness or recklessness on the consequence of doing immoral acts. In Pali, these are called the ahirika anuttapa, lack of moral shame and lack of the moral fear. These two are very dangerous. Anyone can do bad things if they possess this kind of two things. Now, item number 5, white or bright thing. The bright force are moral shame, and this is called hiri in Pali, moral fear, uttapa. These two are very good, wholesome things. Nowadays, it become more important. Most people, they don't have this kind of moral shame and moral fear. They just follow their physical desire and their physical impulse. They do whatever they want. This way, leading to a lot of the immoral action. Now, next one, Sriya Sutta. Sriya Sutta, behavior. This is also the same thing. Okay, now item number 6. Item number 6. Item number 6 is very important. Item number 6. Adhikarana Vaga Bala Sutta. 11. The power of reflection and mental development. What are two important things to improve one's conduct? Can you please answer yourself? 1, the power of reflection. 2, the power of mental development. These two are very important to correct oneself, to improve oneself. The power of reflection. This means that reflecting on your action. Let's say after we have done something good or something bad, we always review. whether it is a good or bad, whether we should continue doing such kind of thing, whether we should avoid doing such kind of thing, saying such kind of words in the future. So this kind of reflection is very important for us to improve our conduct and character. And the second is the power of mental development. The power of mental development in this case is usually involve meditation. In meditation, ordinary meditation alone is not powerful. Meditation regarding the mental states and how to keep one's thoughts and one's mind under mindfulness control. Only when you are able to develop the mindfulness skill on observing mental states and sensations, you will be able to improve one's conduct. So mental development meditation is a very important force. These two forces are very critical. So please note it. Now, item number 7, Nirya Saka Duda, the way to hell haven. Okay, these are very simple. Only actions people commit and always determine the way to heaven or the way to hell. Now, item number 8, Ananda Sutta. Actions which must not be done, actions which should be done. These are very simple. 10 unwholesome misconducts are to avoid. 10 wholesome good conducts are to do. Very simple. You just remind yourself, 10 bad conducts are to avoid. 10 good conducts are to do. Okay, now let's go to item number 9, akusla and kusla. The capacity to remove sin and develop virtue. In Buddha's teaching, an individual plays a very important central role to overcome sin, to develop virtues. But he must know how to develop virtues and how to remove sin. He must be able to control his mind. He must have wisdom. That's what it means. Okay, now let's go ahead to item number 10, Sanimita Woga. Both sin and virtue have their basic and cause. Okay, these are also very simple, but you have to remind yourself, what are the reasons of sin? What are the reason of sin? The root of sin? Very simple and easy to understand. Just remind yourself, familiarize yourself with it. Number 1 cause is greed, loba. Number 2 is called aversion or hatred, dosa. Number 3 is ignorance, moha or delusion. So these are sometimes called the roots of the sin. Please keep in mind, the root of sin, the reason of sin are these 3: greed, aversion, ignorance. Now, the reason of virtue, or the root of virtues, the root of kusla, are 1, non-greed; 2, loving goodwill, adosa; 3, wisdom or knowledge. Very simple. We see a lot of the very bad criminal, such as those who commit crime against children. They commit persistent crime. Why? Because they don't have any kind of mental cultivation. They don't have any kind of mental cultivation. They don't have the ability to know about the role of the mind. So whatever mind comes up, in this case, desire, they follow it. They become the puppet of their own desire and their own lust and their own hatred. So they commit a lot of bad things. They become the persistent criminal. Main reason is in their ability, their inability to manage their own mind. So this is what Buddha says. It's very simple. In other religion, someone outside one's own is responsible for one's action. In Buddhism, one's own mind is a very important dominant force. Now let's go ahead to the book of three. The book of three. The book of three, Adda Vyavara Sutta, affliction for oneself and others. Affliction for oneself and others is also very simple and easy to understand. Actions which cause affliction, suffering to oneself and others are just only 10 kind of misconduct. So you just noted it, very simple one. All these 10 misconduct, 3 unwholesome bodily misconduct, 4 unwholesome verbal misconduct, 3 unwholesome mental state, altogether these 10 misconducts are the problem maker, troublemakers. And the same way, on the opposite of that, 10 good conduct, wholesome conducts are peacemakers and happiness creators. You just note it. Troublemaker and problem maker are 10 misconduct. Peacemaker, happiness creator are 10 good conducts. Now let's go to idea number 2, the cause of good and bad action. The cause of good and bad action is already, you understand now, the cause of bad action, bad karma are 3 roots. Lobha, dosa, moha. And the cause of good karma are non-greed, loving goodwill, wisdom. Very simple. If you keep studying this, you will remember them very easily. Okay, now let's go ahead to the idea number 3. Idea number 3, vipatti samara. 3 kind of failure and accomplishment. 3 kind of failure and accomplishments are also the same thing, just only the name change. Now let's say moral failure, sila vipatti. 2, mental failure. 3, view or belief failure. There are 3 kind of failure. Moral failure. Moral failures are breaking down moral precepts. This is moral failure. Mental failure, in today's time, a lot of people, they have mental failure. They cannot develop their mental cultivation. They don't know how to cultivate their mind. So as a result, their mind fails. Mental failure is also a big problem. In order to avoid mental failure, you have to cultivate goodwill. You have to cultivate mental cultivation, do mental cultivation. View and belief failure in Buddhist is very simple. Okay, now let's go ahead to the accomplishment. Moral accomplishment, ability to observe one's own moral standards and moral principle. 2, mental accomplishment. Mental accomplishment in this case is the mind, happy mind, train in the mind meditation. And 3, view or belief accomplishment, having the right view. View, belief accomplishment is not to be defined by narrow interpretation. In Buddhism, if you are not a Buddhist, you cannot be said a heathen. For not being a Buddhist, you cannot view as a wrong person. If that person holds the right views toward the life, toward a very important moral and spiritual thing, he can be a good person. So once you understand this, you will appreciate how broad Buddha's teachings are. It never label any other one as a heathen. So okay, now let's go to item number 4, Kamanda Sutta. Activities, 3 failures. Action failure, 1 action failure. 2, livelihood failure. 3, view failure. Action failure are actually committing the three bodily misconduct and four misconducts, or one of those conducts. Livelihood failures, doing bad livelihoods, which harms other people. Now, view failure is called the 10 principal view failure, wrong views and 10 principal points. You just read through this. You don't need to memorize. You don't need to memorize because this is a enrichment course. So you just only need to learn what's a wrong view and right view according to Buddha's teaching. Okay, now let's go ahead to the next item. Let's go ahead to next item. Next page. Okay. Now, item number 5. Brahma Dutiya Sosaya Sutta. The term Dosaya means purity. Purity. 3 kinds of purity. Body purity, bhava purity, mental purity. Bodily purity in Buddha's teaching is refraining from 3 unwholesome bodily misconducts. 2, bhava purity means refraining from 4 bhava misconducts. 3, mental purity means being non-greedy, having loving goodwill, nurturing the right view. So this is only broader, generalized explanation regarding mental purity. Actual mental purity can be achieved only when a person start practicing meditation. When a person attains sustained degree of progress, then his mental purity becomes slowly stronger and more sustained. So mental purity in this case is a broad, just generalized explanations of the Buddha. Being non-greedy, having loving goodwill, nurturing the right views are basic fundamental mental purity, which can lead to further progress. Now, 3 kinds of beauty. Second sutta, excuse me, also a little bit different, but it's okay. You just read through it. You don't need to memorize. Now let's go ahead to the Book of Four, Anguttara Nikaya, the Book of Four. The Book of Four. They are very deep. And just only explain them a summary of teaching. Now here, item number 1, Sam Chaitanya Vaga Chaitana Sutta, 171 volitional causes. Buddha said 3 main volitional points of karma. Body, number 1 point. Number 2, speech. Number 3, mind. So I want to keep it simple so that you can understand. Instead of 3 main volitional points of karma, I would like to use the term generating points of karma. 3 points where the karmas are generated. The generating point or the starting point of karma. Initial point is actually not body, not the speech, but the mind. Initial point is the mind, then the body and the speech. These are called the initiating points of karma. 3 initiating points of karma. Now you can understand how Buddha's teachings are very deep and very much practical. All the karma is generated through these 3 points. Good karma, bad karma. First of all, it comes up in the mind, then it becomes manifest. It becomes manifest. and the physical action and the verbal speech, we say. So this way, the karma is generated. Now, let's study 4 conditioning mode of karma. Very interesting. 1. Self-generated acts. 2. External factor-based acts, such as those spawned by other people or external conditioning cause. 3. Intentionally and consciously done acts. 4. Unintentionally and unconsciously initiated spontaneous acts. These are 4 modes of karma being conditioned. These are not anyone's philosophical thinking. Our Lord Buddha, based on his profound and deep wisdom, he taught these 4 modes of karma. It's a really deep and wonderful teachings of the Buddha. You can appreciate Buddha's profound wisdom. He possessed this profound wisdom because he performed many wholesome deeds unselfishly, only with the sole intention of saving suffering living being from the suffering. That's why he possessed such kind of profound wisdom. Okay, now let's have a break. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Hello, Gary. Everybody's in now?
Yeah, I think we're good to go.
Okay, now let's start. Now, item number 2, Sankheta and Vaitara Sutta. Sankheta means brief. Vaitara means broader, brief and broader, or short and long. Short sutta and long sutta. In this sutta, Buddha taught about the 4 kind of karma. One is the dark karma with the dark results. And the second is white karma with white results. And the third one is a mix of the dark and white karma with a mixed result of dark and white, positive and negative. And number 4 is neither dark nor white, but a rare kind of karma which can lead to exhaustion of all karmic energy. Just only generally note, you don't need to go deeper. Just only note how Buddha's teaching regarding the karma is very wide and very much broad in explanation from the nature of action. In this sutta, the dark karma with the dark results are usually 5 major grave sins. Killing one's own mother, one's own father, is saying, causing schism among the monastic community, causing the bruise on the person of the Buddha. Although not included, I mentioned that living life repeatedly committing various kinds of misconduct. Okay, now, white karma with white results. This is living a pious life by refraining from different kinds of misconduct and cultivating goodwill and good conduct. Now, number 3, a mix of dark and white karma with a mixed result. That's the everyday karma we used to have, we used to do. Most people in the world, they have the both dark and white. And the result is also dark and white. And number 4, and this is only for people who have made real progress in meditation, especially in Vipassana meditation. Once they enter into the fast in state of enlightenment, and slowly, and their mind achieve the purity, and all the negative mental state slowly weaken. So, but actual stage where the neither dark nor white karma happen is only when a person attain the third and the fourth stage of enlightenment. Okay, let's turn to next page. Let's turn to next page. Okay, item number 3. Kamawaga Sonakayana Sutta. It's very similar. I think 4 is also the same. Okay, now book of 5. Let's go to the book of 5 in Gotra Nikaya. Nirya Sutta. This Sutta mentions about the 5 immoral acts, 5 precepts. If a person commits one of the 5 immoral acts, especially one lead a immoral life, doing a lot of immoral things, he will go down to hell. But committing for a certain kind of the wrong immoral act is not very powerful enough. But if a person repeatedly commit some immoral acts, it can lead to hell. Now, item number 2, Upaska Vaga Vira Sutta, enmities, enemies, one's own enemies. 5 immoral acts are one's own enemy, which will bring down to hell. Now, item number 3, Sila, virtual behavior. Virtual behavior. This is the benefit, the result of immorality and the result of morality. 5 consequences of immorality are very important. 1, loss of wealth because of living in a negligent life, doing immoral things all the time. 2, having bad reputation. 3, loss of faith and respect in the community. 4, confused debt. 5, bad reward. Now, 5 benefits of morality: gain of wealth because that person live life a diligent and careful life, not to do bad things, not to commit any wrong, etc. And number 2, having good reputation. Number 3, earning respect. And 4, peaceful death. And 5, good reward. So these are very simple and easy to understand. Now, item number 4, misconduct. Misconduct, 5 negative consequences of misconduct. 1, self-accusation, self-blame. 2, being censured by the wise. 3, bad reputation. 4, confused death. 5, bad reward. Opposite of it, 5 positive consequences of 10 right conducts. 1, no self-accusation. 2, being praised by the wise and saintly people. 3, good reputation. 4, peaceful death. 5, good reward in the future. Item number 5, Sekhavara Biala, Bhikkhu Sutta, training rules, repetition series. These sutta mention about non-discriminatory nature of immoral and moral things. Even if I'm a monk who claim myself to be a saint, if I commit wrong immoral acts in private, then I will go down to hell. This is what I want to say. Regardless of this profession, social rank, social status, it doesn't matter. If a person commit wrong thing, he will get results, negative result. If a person live a moral life, doing righteous thing, then he will get positive result. That's what I want to say. It's very broad. That's why I included in this selection of this course, so that you can understand what Buddha's teaching is about regarding morality and immorality. Now, turn next page. Turn next page, please. Okay. Now, the book of 6. The book of Sethapa and Dutiya Nirya Sutta. These are also very similar to the ones you have studied regarding the hell and regarding the heaven. It depends on one's own mental states and one's own action. Now let's go to the book of 8. The book of 8. Let's go to the book of 8. Okay. The book of 8 and Dosrita Vibhaga Sutta constitute the result of bad action. This sort of mention residual negative result of some misconduct at times or river. So it is very important for us to study. Okay, now one long-term residual effect of killing. Shortness of life. Please note it. Killing, shortening one's life will lead to shortness of life. Now, two, stealing. Long-term consequence in next rebirth of the stealing and loss of wealth because one steals others' wealth, others' possession. Three, adultery, committing sexual misconduct. Long-term residual effect is having a happy marriage by having hostile conditions of a spouse. In Buddhist sexual misconduct and its negative results are mentioned in some detail, such as rape, and continue repeat the action of the adultery. They can cause a lot of problem. Now, let's go ahead to poor barber misconduct and long-term effect. Lying, long-term effect of lying is false accusation. Two, long-term residual effect of slandering is being separated from one's friend because one always causes division among friends. Three, long-term residual effect of hard speech is having unpleasant voice. Four, long-term residual effect of the frivolous talk is being distressed by others. Now, alcoholic drinks and narcotic drug use. Long-term effect of alcohol, drink, narcotic drugs is having mental problem. Having mental problem in next subsequent reward. That's a mission in Buddhist by the Buddha. Now let's go to the book of Dhamma. Please keep in mind the long-term residual effect of this bad action. Now, the book of Dhamma. The book of Dhamma, the cause in doing all kind of evil and unwholesome acts. Five causes. One, lobha, greed and craving. Two, dosa, animosity, hatred. Three, moha, ignorance. And four, ionis or manasikara, the wrong attitude. Five, mecha panida chita, unmanaged, wrongly directed mental states. These five are responsible in doing evil. Now, opposite of it, the reason for doing righteous and wholesome things. One, alobha, non-greed. Two, adosa, loving goodwill. Three, amoha, wisdom, thinking and knowledgeable mind. Four, yoniso manasikara, the right mental attitudes. Five, samapanida citta, well managed, rightly directed mental state. It's very easy to understand and very practical. Now, let's go ahead to next page. Go ahead to next page. 10 causes leading to hell and bad rebirth are 10 misconduct. 10 causes leading to heaven and good rebirth, 10 good conduct. Very simple. Not the Buddha's cursing. Buddha doesn't curse anyone. The saints cannot curse anyone. Okay, now, one, Adama Triya Sutta, contrary to Dhamma, reasons for being born, being reborn in hell, and good rebirth as well. Of them misconduct, 3 bodily misconducts are called bodiless, which are against the righteous and not fair and crook. And 4 verbal conducts are called verbal acts, which are against the righteousness and fairness. 3 bad mental states are called the mental states, which are against the law of righteousness and fairness. So very simple to understand. And the optimum is going to have same thing. So we just skip through and we just flip through all these. Okay, item number 2, Samanya Sutta. similarity. 10 action leading to hell and heaven. It's very easy to understand. All the 10 good conduct and 10 bad conducts. Now let's go to Majjhima Nikaya. Majjhima Nikaya, selected sutta. Okay, Sula Karma, item number 1. Shorter exposition of karma action. This is some of my analysis on the teaching of karma. But you don't need to memorize. You just only read through this. Turn to next page. Turn to next page. Okay, now these are practical points. We are trying to answer inequality of the human life from the perspective of karma. Now, item number A1. Those who used to destroy life, bloody-handed, used to killing and torture, merciless to living beings. Such people have a short span of life. Now, item number A2. Those who used to refrain from killing life with rod and weapon let aside, ashamed of doing bad things, compassionate to living things, have a long span of life. Okay, now, 2 questions. Why some people are short-lived, why some people are long-lived? You have to be able to answer by reading these 2 paragraphs. Okay, B1, item number B1. Those used to endure living beings either with hand, with claw, or with stick, or with a weapon, are revived sickly. So those who used to torture and injure other people are revived sickly. Item number B2. Those who are kind, not used to enjoying living beings either with hand, or with claw, or with a stick, or with a weapon, are revived healthy. So the question, why some people are sickly and why some people are healthy? So you have to be able to answer from the perspective of the karma. Now, item number C1. Those who are given to anger, easily upset over a little criticism, display anger, hate, and displeasure, are rebound ugly. Those who are used to a lot of the quick and short temper, hot temper, these will be rebound ugly as a result of anger. And item number C2. Those who are not given to anger, being not upset, even when criticized much, do not react in anger, hate or displeasure are rebound beautiful. But in Buddhist, there are other cows mentioned regarding the beauty. The ugliness is basically based on the anger and all angry acts. Prettiness and beauty are based on lack of anger and cultivation of goodwill. At the same time, sometimes people who do a lot of the voluntary work such as in nursing home, in the hospital, compassion-based work, and also those who used to do cleaning work in the monastery or pagoda compounds and all, also in the other public place, they are also bound pretty because they do a lot of the cleaning acts. So this is what is mentioned in Buddhist. Okay. Now let's go to the item number D1. Item number D1. Those who are not envious, those who are envious and jealous of others' well-being, such as success, fame, and wealth, are rebound with no influence and power. Item number D2, those who are not envious and jealous of others' well-being, such as success, fame, and wealth, are rebound with much influence and power. So there are 2 questions. Why is some people born with less influence and power? Why is some people born with a lot of influence and power? This is just only explanation from the karma perspective. There are also many contributing factors in the present life, in the present condition. Now let's go to the item number E1. Item number E1. Those who never offer charity to people such as ascetic, recluse, or the needy one, due to lack of generous goodwill, are rebound poor. Item number E2. Those who offer charity to people such as ascetic, recluse, and the needy ones with a generous goodwill are reborn rich. So there are two questions. Why some people are born poor, why some people are born rich? And explanation is only from the perspective of karma. Even though there are a lot of contributing factors in the present life, in the present social conditions, and so you have to be able to answer why some people born poor, why some people born rich. Uh, some people born poor because they don't do any kind of charity in their past life. They are very miserable people. They are very stingy. Uh, while some people are born wealthy and to wealthy family because they are generous in their heart and their goodwill. They have generous mind, generous action, generous deed. Because of that, they born rich. In this case, Buddha said, Dhanado Bhoga Vahodi in Buddhist. Dhanado, alms and charity. Bhoga Vahodi, enrich. Alms and charity enrich a person, not only in the spirit, but also in material wealth. That's what Buddha said. In other place of the scripture, Buddha said, doing charity is like doing investment for the future, which will give dividends, rich dividends in the future reward. So there are a lot of the such wonderful teachings of the Buddha regarding charity. Now let's go to the Idinama F1. F1. Those who are arrogant, rude and proud, never show respect to those who are worthy of respect by bowing, by getting up, by giving seating way. Due to such act of disrespect and arrogancy, they are reborn into families of low social rank. F2. Those who are humble, not proud, show respect to those who are worthy of respect by bowing and by getting up, by giving seat and way. Due to such humble act of respect, they are reborn into families of high social rank. Okay, now why some people are born into the low family, why some people are born into the high social elite, and you have the answer now. Now let's go to next item number G1. Those who never bother to be analytical, do not ask questions to the why, such as ascetic or Brahmin regarding what is virtue, what is sin, what is blame, what is blameless, and what to do, what not to do, what can lead to suffering, what it is conducive for long-term well-being, and so on. Such people are reborn with a low intelligence and capacity. Well, it means that we have to have a questioning mind, a critical mind, an analytical mind. Based on questioning mind, analytical mind, and critical thinking, we can search for answer, we can seek answer through the wise people, etc. This way, we can inherit wisdom. That's what Buddha I want to say. Now, item number G2. Those who used to be analytical ask questions to the wise, such as ascetic and Brahmin, regarding what's a virtue, what's a sin, what's a blame, what's a blameless, and what to do, what not to do, and what can lead to suffering, what is conducive for long-term well-being, and so on. Such people are reborn wise with a sharp intelligence. So we have to have analytical questioning mind. Those who don't have analytical questioning mind always don't bother, then they will be born slow wood and very dull. Those who were there only curious and questioning mind, critical mind, and they will born intelligence. That's what I want to say. Okay, now let's go ahead to greater exposition of karma. Next page. Turn to next page. Okay, then in this sutta, Buddha explained to Venerable Ananda, his personal assistant, about the complex nature of bad and good action, bearing unexpected opposite results, sometimes depending on multiple factors. playing the three roles in the determining person's destiny or rebirth. Is, as a matter of fact, a very profound explanation of the complex functioning aspect of karma, told by the Buddha, using very practical scenarios of mixed action. This discourse is very deep. You just only know that there's such kind of sutta regarding the explanation of the complex situation. In this discourse, Buddha mentioned about good people, Buddha mentioned about bad people, but who have opposite results based on their current mental states. It's a very interesting discourse. Okay, now let's go ahead to item number 6, downfall. Very important one, but please do not push yourself to memorize. You just only read through it. One who loves Dhamma, one who loves Dhamma, righteousness is successful. One who detests it falls down. So people who don't care about morality or righteousness, they will fall down. They will fail. People who always respect fairness and righteousness, justice, they will not fail. That's what Buddha want to say. Be liking the bad people and disliking the good people, preferring their bad way is the way to downfall. It's very simple. C, being lethargic, gregarious, inactive, lazy, and of good temper is the way to downfall. You just only read through. D, despite being able to help, one neglects all parents needing help. This is the way to downfall. There are such people in the world who never care about their parents. E, if one deceived by false speech, either an ascetic or a Brahmin or a mendicant, this is the way to downfall. F, if a person, despite being rich with wealth, consumes delicacies and nice things alone, this is the way to downfall. So this is a wealthy person not being able to share with other people is also the way to downfall. Now, G, by item number G, being proud because of high caste, family, lineage, and wealth. One looks down on one's own relative. This is the way to downfall. Item number H, by womanizing, by drinking, by gambling, one squanders whatever one has collected. This is the way to downfall. Item number I, being not content with one's wife. One seeks pleasure in the prostitutes and others' wife. This is the way to downfall. These are all about morality. Now, item number J, a man past his youth, marries a young woman of good figure, being jealous over likelihood of infidelity of the young wife, cannot sleep well. This is the way to downfall. K, placing a devout woman or a man who is spendthrift in a position of authority in the important affair is the way to downfall. Item number L, despite being born into a royal family with less resources and much greed, high ambition, one longs to be the king. This is the way to downfall. Okay, now let's go ahead to the Vasala Sutta, August, meaning based on that. 1, a person who is given to anger, vengeful, the worst ingrate, of wrong view, crafty is an August. 2, lacking in kindness, one tortures creatures, which are once born or twice born. Such person is known as an August. Once born means mammal, twice born means bird. Birds are twice born from mother's womb. They just come out as an egg. Later on, the mother bird has to hatch the egg. That's why it's called twice born. So 3, one who attacks and siege village and town, notoriously known as a tyrant. Such a person is known as an August. And 4, one steals others' cherished thing, located either inside the village or on the field, without being formally given by the owner. Such a person is known as an August. 5, having borrowed money, one evades from creditor, saying, I will nothing to you. Such a person is known as an August. 6, one who not only waylays but also keeps the travelers on the road even for a pittance. Such a person is known as an August. There are a lot of people on the wall. Now, item number 7, One bears false witness, telling lies in the court, for oneself, for others, or for money's sake. Such a person is known as an august. Item number 8. One is saying involved with wives of relatives or friends, through coercion or out of love. Such a person is known as an august. Item number 9. Despite being able to help, one neglects old parents needing help. Such a person is known as an august. This is already included in the downfall. Now, item number 10. One who hits or verbally abuse one's mother or father or brother or sister or in-laws. Such a person is known as an august. You can find such kind of people in the world today. Item number 11. When consulted for advice, one instructs either harmful one or say things in ambiguity. Such a person is known as an august. Okay, item number 12. Having done an evil act, one wish no one knows it and hide it. Such a person is known as an august. Now, item number 13. When visiting another's family, one enjoys a fine meal there, but does not return the favor to his host. Such a person is known as an august. Now, item number 14. If one deceives with false speech, an ascetic or a Brahmin or any other mendicant, such a person is known as an august. We have this statement in the Downfall Sutta. Now, item number 15. One who does not offer food, but verbally abuse an ascetic or a Brahmin, one who comes at the meal time, such a person is known as an august. 16. Being covered by delusion, looking for material gain of even insignificant value. One speaks deceptive words, either to impress or to deceive. Such a person is known as an august. Item number 17. One who extols oneself in disdainful of others, brings down oneself by being over proud. Such a person is known as an august. Item number 18. One who is a harasser, stingy, of evil desire, miserly, deceitful, without moral shame and moral fear. Such a person is known as an august. 19. One who reviles Buddha or his disciple, an ascetic or ordinary householder. Such a person is known as an august. In this case, we have to understand reviles for no cause, no valid reason. Item number 20. One claims to be an arhat, the enlightened saint, even if not being so in truth. This is the meanness and the high worst august of the whole world. 21. An august or saying is not to be defined by virtue of birth or social rank, but it is to be defined by the action and characteristics. So these are very truthful words of the Buddha. Now let's go ahead to Mitta Sutta. Mitta Sutta is, maybe some of you may be familiar with the Mitta Sutta. You can read it in the Korganika text. So just, let's go ahead to next page. Let's go ahead to next page. Mangala Sutta. Blessings. That's which can lead to blessings. It's very interesting. There are 38 kinds of action which can lead to blessing, to be practiced and achieved by people if they wish to get blessing and well-being in their life. Below is a brief description. 1, not associating with bad people. 2, associating with good people. 3, respect and honor to those worthy of it, such as mother, father, teachers, and holy men and saints and the Buddha. Now, next collection of blessing. 4, choosing suitable place for one's needs and progress. 5, having accumulated a meritorious deed in the journey of life. 6, maintaining self-control. These are also blessing. 7, seeking and broadening knowledge. 8, acquiring and learning trade skill. 9, being well trained in the discipline. 10, speaking well. These are also the way to blessing. 11, caring one's parent, caring one's family, such as wife and children. 13, an honest occupation. These are also air of blessing. 14, giving charity. 15, practicing the noble Dhamma. 16, giving support to one's relatives if necessary, if they able to do so. 17, doing blamelessly. These acts lead to blessing. 18, desisting from evil. It is mentally or not enjoying it. 19, practically refraining from evil. 20, refraining from alcohol and drug. 21, heedfulness and developing good qualities. These can lead to blessing. 22, respect. 23, humility. 24, contentment. 25, gratefulness. 26, timely listening to the Dharma. These can lead to the blessing. 27, patience. 28, being amenable to advice. 29, scene of the ascetic occasionally. 30, timely discussion on the Dhamma with them. These acts also lead to blessing. 31, austerity. 32, spiritual life. 32, seeing and understanding the truth. 34, realizing the Nibbana. These acts also lead to the blessing. 35, a strong, resilient spirit in the face of ups and downs of life. 36, overcoming sorrow. 37, overcoming lust and greed and mental impurity. 38, a secure mind, being free from mental development. These are the highest blessing. Altogether, 38 blessing. Please don't memorize, just read through to broaden your knowledge. Okay, now, item number 5, well-spoken speech. What what to define a well-defined, well-spoken speech? 4 factors are defining factor. 1, being well-spoken, aim at having beneficial result. 2, being related to Dhamma, righteousness. 3, being pleasant. 4, being truthful. These are 5 characteristics of the well-spoken words. Now, let's go to item number 6, next page. 3 major grounds. 3 major grounds for making merit for ordinary people. For ordinary people to live a pious moral life, they have to perform charity depending on their ability, and 2, live moral life, maintain minimum moral standard of 5 precepts. 3, practice meditation for spiritual development. These 3 are very important. Then, to earn the merit. Now, item number 2, misconduct. These are very simple. You already learned. Item number 3, already learned this. Item number 4, purity. You already familiarized with this. Item number 5, aspiring for happiness. This is also easy to understand. Keep one's good moral, if one wish pray. 2, keep good moral, if one wish to prosperity. 3, keep good moral, if one wish to be reborn in the heaven or in good reward. So everything is good moral. Good moral number 1, good moral number 2, good moral number 3. No, everything good moral. That's what Buddha said. He emphasized having good moral as the basic of being a good person, being the basic for all the good results. So this is how Buddha emphasized moral precepts in many, many ways, either for happiness, either for receiving praise, either for going to heaven and to get a long, long, boring life in the heaven. In the Buddhist day, heaven is a very long life. Everybody in the heaven lives a very long years. So even though Buddha doesn't claim eternal life, he just say mission in the heaven. People live very long, long years for many world systems. Now, under Amala Sutta, item number 6, inner stains, greed, anger, and delusions these are inner stains. So now I have done this reviewing process of Sutta study. In the previous section, we have no chance. You have no chance to study all the selection of discourse. Now, I have already done for the benefit of you. You just go into those relevant discourse if you want to know more about them. Okay, now the next chapter. Please turn next chapter. Okay, free will and moral responsibility. In this case, free will and moral responsibility. I want to already explain that free will. Free will is everybody has free will. In Buddhism, everybody is born with a spirit. This spirit or this spiritual energy is unrestrained, unconditioned by any external agent. It's free. It's a universal experience. Like the air we breathe in. We breathe in air every moment, every second. The air is the main source of our life. Without air in atmosphere, every living being will die. In the same way, we have this spiritual element, this spiritual nature. Sometimes we refer to it as a consciousness, spirit, or mind, or etc. This is already free, freely available, like the free air available, fresh air. But it has its own condition. For example, we have sometimes polluted air, very toxic air, coming out of the chemical factory. Chemical factories sometimes can eject very dangerous toxic air out. In case we breathe those kind of toxic breath, we can die immediately. In the same way, our mind is contaminated with temporary pollutant such as hatred, anger, unrestrained hatred, unrestrained anger, unrestrained emotion. These are toxic spiritual elements we may used to have in our mind. We must be able to see the moment they come up. This is toxic air, this is toxic spiritual element. We must not follow, we must not be manipulated by them so that we can live life in peace and happiness. So free will is out of question in Buddhism. Everybody already got a free will, freely available, freely gifted with. We are born gifted with this free will called the spiritual energy. In Western philosophy, free will is the power of acting without constraint or necessity of fate, the ability to act one's own condition. This is also quite close, but it's okay. You don't need to bother with it anymore. Now, moral responsibility. What is a moral responsibility? Answer is very simple. Moral responsibility is to accept both blame and praise, reward and punishment, and all variable positive and negative consequences of one's action resulting from the choice and decision one made, one had left undone. So it means that moral responsibility is being accountable to one's action. This is a moral responsibility. Free will and moral responsibility in Buddhism is more uh, simple and easy to understand. In this case, in this chapter, you have already read through. Everybody is made out of two forces: the body and the mind. The body and the mind. With the mind, it serves as a driving, motivating force. With the body, we try to carry out the action. So we have to watch our thoughts, our desire, our emotion. We have to manage our action. Then moral responsibility and free will is a very simple question of ability to control one's own mind and one's own body. The ability to develop one's own mind, and one's own body. This is very simple. Okay, now let's turn next page. We have used the analogy of the snail and the car. Once you understand that, uh, you will realize that body and mind are two important things. But the mind is more predominant force. In this case, and in the Coast War, people, you have the Buddha's words on the important role of the mind. One, mind precedes all things. Mind is the chief. All are mind generated. If with an ill will, a person speaks or acts, suffering follows. And like the wheel that follows the feet of an ox pulling the leading guide. Two, mind precedes all things. Mind is the chief. All are mind wrought. If with the wholesome mind, a person speaks or acts, happiness follows him like one's own shadow. So these sayings are very well-known sayings in the Dhammavada. These are universal nature, even though there are some exceptional cases, such as acts committed unconsciously or subconsciously. Even if a person acts unconsciously or subconsciously, wrong as a wrong act, but the consequence is maybe less because there's no intention. So, let's proceed to Arakita Sutta. In the Arakita Sutta, in Uttara Nikaya, Buddha mentioned about uh, uncontrolled mind, unrestrained mind, comparing it like the roof of the house. If a roof is leaky house, then the whole structure of the house is unprotected. If the roof is a very good house, it will protect all the structures of the whole house. In the same way, if a person has an unrestrained, unmanaged mind, all his actions will become unmanaged. This will leading to a lot of immoral action. Similarly, if a person has managed restrained mind through knowledge and wisdom, through moral and ethical thinking, then his actions will be moral and will be managed, and it will lead to more happiness and good result and general well-being. In this discourse, what Buddha mentioned is very much to the point. Buddha compared an individual to a house. The mind, comparing the mind like a roof. The roof of the house must be strong, not leaky. This way, it can maintain structural integrity of the building. In the same way, a person's mind should be well managed and restrained through the knowledge, through moral thinking, and through wisdom. This way, his action will be managed, will be moral and ethical. This is only a brief, very much short to the point explanations of the Buddha. Now, let's conclude this chapter and let's have a break time. I hope everybody is now back in.
Yeah, I think we're all back.
Okay, okay, let's resume our session for the final session of the morning. Now, moral responsibility. It's just only a comparison of the moral responsibility with the traffic rules. So it is not it's not essential to understand this. Let's go to the next page. Let's go to the next page. Next chapter. kusla and akusla. Okay, this chapter 4 is very important because being sinful, being virtuous are two facts, two principles that determine morality, that determines morality. Morality and morality are based on the virtue and sinful. In Buddhist text, all the actions of people are classified into three groups. The first group is called kusala, virtues, wholesome group. The second is called akusala, unwholesome or sin. Abhyagata, this is neutral, neither wholesome nor unwholesome, but neutral in nature. It may be a little bit complex for people in the beginning. Most mental and physical phenomena can be grouped into these three categories. In this course, we only focus action, speech, and mental states. In Buddhist psychology, known as Abhidhamma in Pali, all the classification of these three and explanation regarding these three categories are very much detailed and widely explained. For example, our bodies. Our bodies are neither sinful nor virtuous of its own accord, because it is only physical state. Once you know about it, you will be very amazed about Buddha's psychological high teaching, known as Abhidhamma. Our body are like the vehicle of existence. In this case, to make it more understandable and to drive to the point, I would like to explain you by using an analogy of the gun or a knife or a vehicle. You have a knife in your kitchen, you have the car in your garage, and you may have the gun, and you are safe. The guns, the knives, the cars, or any weapon or instruments are lifeless. They cannot shoot of their own accord. They cannot hit other people of their own accord. The knife cannot stand up itself and running after anyone and stab it. No, of course not. These are only material elements. In Buddhist texts, all the matter, including our body, is categorized into the abhyagata, neither sinful nor virtuous, because it has no power to commit moral or immoral act. Only when it is driving by someone, like the car or like the gun owner. In this case, the gun owner grabbed the gun and he start aiming at someone for no reason and shoot it. And also the owner of the knife or the one who have the knife, he start holding the knife and brandishing his knife. He chase after people and stab people based on his religious zeal or based on his hatred or his mental state. The car, the knife, the guns are only instruments, material instruments, which cannot act on their own accord. So it is called abhyagata, neither sin nor virtue. Our body is the same thing. Also, in the same way, let's say someone is in deep sleep. Let's say Robert, a hypothetical person. Robert is sleeping in deep sleep. He is enjoying his deep sleep. And that moment of deep sleep, his consciousness is very innocent. And that mental state and that deep sleep is called abhyagata. Neither sin nor virtues. These are just only a sample explanation regarding the nature of abhyagata. Then, when the sin occur, when virtue occur, it depends on the driver. In this case, the driver is our mind, our mental states. Driver is very important. Like in today's riot happening in a very sad way in big cities, some people commit very meaningless, destructive acts, damaging property, and vandalizing church and monuments, which are harmless, which are very which have no parts in all this, because their anger, their hatred has no reason. It has already lost ability to reason, ability to logically think whether they should do it or not. They just only based on anger and greed to loot. So the mind is a driving force in every good and bad action. It is the mind that determines sin. It is the mind and mental state that determines virtue. The actions are the actions. Manipulator and mover is the mind. Based on the mental states, it becomes sin or it becomes a virtue. And Abhidhamma and the higher teachings of the Buddhist text, how sin and virtues come to be defined as sin and virtue are clearly explained. I don't want to go into detail because I don't want to make your study complex. I just only want to make your study as simple and easy to understand as possible. So we stop here. Kusala is virtuous thing, virtuous phenomena. Sin, akusala is sinful and immoral thing. Mm. Now let's turn to next page. In this page, I have mentioned about what Buddha's teaching means regarding the sin. regarding the virtues. In Western's ideas and all those religious beliefs based on the creation, the sin and virtues are determined by belief and disbelief, obeying one's religious tenets or not. In Buddhism, it's very different. In Western, some religious-based concepts, sin is inherited from the early man. From the early man, we inherited sin. In Buddhism, sin is a natural phenomena of consciousness. It is not permanent. It is a temporary. But it becomes a repeated incident if a person cannot manage his own mind. We can see this in long-term criminals and very heinous acts of those criminals. Those criminals, they have some incidents of goodwill in their life. They are not always criminal. Even though they commit a very bad crime, they can have the moments of the compassion and goodwill, even though they are persistent criminal. Here the point is very clear. They lack the knowledge and wisdom to improve their conduct and their mental condition. So they keep repeating their bad action. This is very much similar to what Buddha has taught. Human mind is always susceptible to stimulation, temptation. Only the knowledge, wisdom, reasonable thinking can intervene in such a temptation state. Temptation always come up in everybody's life. When those kind of temptation situation and the mind's weak conditions to fall through the temptation is quite natural. People with a strong knowledge and strong wisdom, strong mental integrity, and strong will to reasonably act can manage those kind of temptation. Otherwise, they will do wrong things. That's why having the right wisdom, the right knowledge is always important, always key to the happiness in one's life. Once a person lacks the wisdom and knowledge and self-control, then everything can happen. That's why Buddha's teaching emphasized cultivation of will, goodwill. In this page, in these paragraphs, all the Buddhist teachings are summarized in a few paragraphs. Akusala and kusala are not created nor formally decreed by an authoritative order of anyone. They do exist in the world of their own accord and take their own courses of action in giving relevant results. This is just only a general explanation regarding how the sins and virtues exist. They are mostly related with the mind situation. In Buddha's teaching, people are not sinners by nature or by birth, but they acquire sin the moment they commit wrong and immoral acts based on their bad mental state. Seriousness of akusala is rather dependent on the nature of things being done. Both sin and virtues are conduct of one's own making, which are shaped and motivated by one's own mental states. In Buddha's teaching, sin is not either a stigma, but a temporary stain which can be removed. So this is all very clear. Now let's turn to next page. So you can run through all these pages. The parts of akusala and kusala. This is also very easy to understand. You have already learned the selection of the discourses, the effects of the akusala and kusala. The effects of akusala is negative. The effects of kusala virtue is positive. Even those positive and negative results need some certain time frame. They don't give immediate results sometimes. Regarding this, Buddha have explained Buddhist text regarding the nature of good karma and bad karma. Sometimes bad karmas takes time to ripen and to come back as a result. In the same way, good karma also needs a certain time frame, like the seeds. A farmer, a gardener grows. A farmer grows the seeds in the soil after preparing the soil, and it needs for the seed to sprout, and it comes up slowly as after the right conditions are met and accumulated. So, how the karma yield the results is a matter of time, a matter of condition. Both kusala and akusala needs a certain specific time frame so that they yield the results. Some of the good karma and bad karma with a serious nature yield immediate results. They get instant result. More majority of the karma, they cannot yield instant results. That's what mentioned in Buddhist text. And in this paragraph, in the Lona Kamala Sutta, Lona Kamala Sutta is very interesting explanation regarding the karma. Lona means salt. Kamala means a cup of salt. Lona Kamala Sutta mentioned about how good karma or bad karma overwhelm others by using an analogy of the salt cup. If salt container is very big one, then fresh water cannot overcome it, cannot overwhelm it. If the body of the fresh water is very massive and very huge, then it can overcome unwholesome salty water, making it drinkable. It's very interesting sutta, taught by the Buddha in the Anguttara Nikaya. What Buddha means that even if a person commit wrong immoral action, as long as his good karmic force are powerful, and his bad karma will not yield a result. In the same way, even if a very good person is doing a lot of good things, as long as his unwholesome bad karmas are still powerful enough. Good karma will not yield the results. It takes certain time frame and so that it come up later on. Regarding this, in the Abhidhamma Pitaka text, Buddha mentioned about how the karma yield the result and what type of karma yield immediate result and subsequent birth and all the succession of the rebirth, etc. Some karmas are no without any result, etc. In order to understand all the detailed explanation, we have to study Abhidhamma in some way so that we can understand the Buddha's teaching regarding the how the karma function in our daily life. Okay, now next page. Now characteristic of the kusala and akusala. These are very important because once you know this, you can clearly define. Kusala is defined by having certain characteristic, especially two characteristics. Kusala Baju can be defined by having two characteristics. The first characteristic is it is blameless, immaculate from the both legal and moral perspective, according to secular law, even from the viewpoint of civilized society, it is blameless, immaculate. For example, depending on our conditions, we may be given some volunteer work, and social organization, and some needy place. It's blameless. Nobody blames for working as a volunteer in a good social organization for a good cause. It's blameless. No one can take action. No place, no law enforcement come after you for doing such good thing. If you share what you have with other people, then it's blameless. If you're trying to speak good words, wholesome words, it's blameless. So number one characteristic is it is blameless and immaculate in terms of its nature from many perspectives. And second determining factor is result. Wholesome virtue acts always bring joy and good consequence to the doer and to those affected by the performed action. These are two defining criteria for the virtues. So please note it down, it's very important. Now, regarding sin and akusala, same way they have two defining characteristics. The first one is any unwholesome act is blamed by people, despised and disgusted by people. For example, if you say something to someone which can cause unhappiness, let's say harsh language, etc., or telling lie, or if you do something bad, which is against the law, then it's not good. It's to be blamed by civilized people. It's also liable to any negative consequence. So the action itself is to be blamed. And number two defining principle is result. Most akusala acts cause suffering and bring bad consequence. So these are two defining factors. Sin and virtue can be defined by their own characteristic. They are self-evidence. This may be quite different from God-based faith, God-based religion. And in those creation-based religion, the will of God, the command of God is what they should do. Either it be a killing of animal and offering as a sacrifice, or killing of other people from belonging to other religion as a holy duty. Then for them, it's holy yet. But for civilized viewpoint, from the viewpoint, from the viewpoint of compassion and goodwill, it's totally wrong. To kill someone for not being a believer, it's wrong to kill an animal. And once a year, big festival, you see a lot of animal being slaughtered based on religious faith. So, such kind of thing regarding the concept of the virtue and sins are totally different in Buddhism. In Buddha's teaching, everything is based on wisdom, goodwill, wisdom and goodwill, and good consequence. So sin and virtues are to be defined by their characteristic. This is agree. Now, let's go to next paragraph. The roots of akusala. The roots of akusala. This is also where you are already familiar with this. Turn to next page. Next page. Okay, here. Now, you see three roots of the kusala, wholesome. Three roots of unwholesome. Very important. Please familiarize this. What are the three roots of unwholesome, sinful acts? One is lobha, greed. The other is dosa, aversion. Three is moha, illusion. These are three roots of the unwholesome sins. These are like the three major leaders of a big drug cartel or a big criminal gang. The first leader is the lobber, wanting to grab others' possession, wanting to have this and that. Greed, in this case, greed. Ordinary desire is okay. In this case, lobber is a greed. This is the main criminal leader. And the second is dosa. This is the second leader of all the akusala. Dosa, anger, hatred, aversion. Three, moha, ignorance or delusion, lack of knowledge. All these three are the major roots of the akusala or whatever sinful thing. One of these three causes serve as the root cause of the akusala. So, even though there are other causes of the sin, such as jealousy, confusion, restlessness, etc., and proud, arrogancy, conceit, etc. There are other mental conditions, but these three are major causes, major roots of the akusala. Now, let's go ahead to the roots of the kusala. The roots of kusala. There are three roots of kusala. One is alobha, opposite of lobha, translated as a mind, which is the opposite of greed, non-greed, good characterized by generosity. 2 are dosa. A mental state which is opposite of anger, hatred, confusion. It is loving kindness and technically known as metta in Pali. 3 are moha. It's the capacity of logical thinking and reasoning, knowledge and wisdom. These are three roots of the kusala. Whatever good things are done, everybody is doing this kusala act based on one of these three root causes. So it's very easy to understand. Now let's go ahead to the 10 akusala is 10 acts of akusala. 10 acts of akusala, as you already familiar with this then. 3 major modes of action. The first one is mental states. The second is bodily action. That is bhava action. Now, 3 unwholesome mental states. One is covetousness, sometimes called the gluttonous mental state, gluttony. Number 2, ill will. And number 3, wrong view. These are just only generalized summary of the 3 mental states. Based on one of these 3 mental states, people commit wrong and unwholesome thing. Now, 3 akusala, unwholesome bodily action. 1, killing, 2, stealing, and 3, committing adultery. In this case, sometimes there may be some question. Killing and self-defense. Killing and self-defense. Even though it is justified, in Buddhism, not killing is more encouraged. But in case you have to defend yourself, you have to defend. It's justified. Stealing, also the same thing. Briefly, we have to understand these 3 acts of killing, stealing, committing adulteries are just only general explanation of the unwholesome bodily action, because they cause a lot of the suffering and negative results. Now, 4 unwholesome akusala bhava speech, bhava action. 1, lying, 2, slandering, 3, hard speech, 4, frivolous and useless talk, which bring no benefit to anyone. Now, opposite of these 10 misconducts, now 10 acts deemed kusala or 10 good conducts. 3 kusala mental state, non-covetousness, 2, goodwill such as love, compassion, 3, right views. Now 3 bodily wholesome good conducts. 1, abstaining from killing, 2, abstaining from stealing, 3, abstaining from adultery. So very simple and easy to understand. Okay, now 4 wholesome bhava action. Not lying, 1, 2, not slandering, 3, avoiding harsh speech, 4, speaking useful talk which can benefit to anyone. Okay, now these are called the 10 good conducts and 10 misconduct, 10 good conducts. I'm sure you are already familiar with these basic important things. Now, 10 base of kusala. 10 base of kusalas are also very important to familiarize yourself with these, because they are the points where a person can earn merit or can develop wholesome action or wholesome mental state also. The first action is called dana. Dana means giving, sharing based on generosity and goodwill. It is a very broad. Some giving are based on generosity, some giving act of giving are based on religious faith, regardless of the foundation. If you do sharing based on generous goodwill, this is called the dana. It enrich your spirit. It enrich your life in many ways. So dana is also very simple and easy to do for everyone. Now, number 2 is called the sila, morality. Morality is, for some people, it is difficult to keep moral precepts. The first one is easiest to do. Second, sila, moral precept. Keeping moral precept is a little bit challenging because when you are observing 5 precepts, you must be diligent and careful not to break the precepts. So you need to make a more effort. So it's a little bit challenging and little bit difficult than act of charity. But this is very good to do. Now number 3, bhavana. Bhavana, in Pali word bhavana means development. Pali word bhavana means development, a very interesting word. Development of what? Development of the mind. If a person want to develop one's mind, he must slowly learn how to meditate, and he must train his mind himself to practice meditation. Slowly, he will develop a strong mental state, pure mental state, resilient mental state, the mind which can control itself, because controlling one's own mind is not to be done by outside agent. You have to use the mind in order to manage the mind. So bhavana, this number 3 action is more challenging, more challenging. So number 3, all these number 1, number 2, number 3 are very important point, very important base of the doing merit. Now let's start in number 4, abhajayana. Abhajayana means respect. This is quite simple and easy for people if they can bring down their ego. Showing your respect or doing your courteous manner to those people who deserve respect and courtesy, such as one's parents and one's teachers and senior people who are senior in terms of age, in terms of the morality, in terms of the practice. This does not mean you have to bow down to people based on wealth, based on power. You have to use your own good, your own free will, and your own reasonable thinking to pay respect. Only those who are worthy of respect, you have to pay respect. Otherwise, you don't need. Basically, it's mentioned in Buddhist text. You have to respect your mother and father. You have to respect our teachers. We have to respect people who are senior among our relatives, or those who are senior in terms of the morality and in terms of the good moral conduct. Now, number 5, we are wasa, volunteer work. Volunteer work in good cause. This includes helping our parents with their homework. Our parents, they may be busy and they may need help, then you help. And helping with the necessary work to your parents and teachers. This is also way I watch out. Not only volunteering in good social organization, good social cause. Now, number 6, pati dana. Pati means portion. Dana means sharing. Sharing of the portion. What is it? It is sharing of the merit. If in case you have done something good, something, let's say charitable deed, you just share with your family, oh, I have done today this one. Not a desire to brag, but with a desire to share that good act so that they can be happy, they can be rejoiced. With a sincere good intention, you can share your good meritorious deed. Now, number 7, Padanumodana. Padanumodana means being happy in others' good action. Being happy in others' good action. This is very important. Some people, they cannot happy in others' good action. Some people, they are very selfish, very narrow-minded. Such people, they cannot find happiness in other people's good action. So, Padanumodana means being happy in others' good deeds, and thus supporting and encouraging them. Now, number 8. Number 8 means Dhamma Savana. Dhamma means righteous teaching, righteous thing. Savana means listening. Listening or studying. Listening and studying noble, righteous, just teachings of the saints. Listen to noble teachings and broadening and enriching one's knowledge and wisdom. In this case, listening to the noble teachings of the Buddha is included, even though it has a broad meaning. Now, Dhamma Desana, number 9. Sharing, teaching, promoting, and righteous noble teachings so that other people can benefit. This is also very simple and easy to understand. Now, number 10, Deity Ju Kama. Deity means view. Uju means upright. Kama means doing one's views right. So correcting one's view, if someone has doubt, or if someone needs clarification and correction, one must correct one's view, because our views, everybody's views are not perfect. It must be improved depending on changing condition. So we must have adaptable view depending on changing time. So we must also try to improve our views. In this case, the right view, having the right view is very important foundation in Buddhist teaching. That's why it is included as the right view in the Noble Eightfold Path, Samadhi, the right view, having the right view, at the basic of all the other good things. Without having the right view, one will commit a wrong action. So we have to have the right view. We have to keep our views right. We have to correct our views as necessary. Whenever necessary, we have to correct. So these are called the 10 base of the wholesome action. We must use this as a 10 principle of the moral life. Okay. Okay, now let's go ahead. Okay, now let's have a break. It's already here 11 or 12 o'clock. Okay.